Hello again. Haven't done a video for a while, so I thought I'd show you what I'm up to at the moment. I sold the orange bike that I've done a few videos building, and while I'm waiting, I want to ride this. This is the first bike I ever built. Me and my daughter built it. This is the bike that started it all. This is our lockdown project. My daughter wanted to do a CBT, so we went and got this Suzuki. Fixed the tank, painted the tank, made a new seat, did a few other little bits. I didn't really know what I was doing. I still don't now, as you probably know, but it's time to get this on an MOT. So I've gone through today. I've attached the number plate, but got to do a light for that. The clocks, I seem to have lost a bolt for the handlebars. Don't know how I did that. I've been told this headlight is not suitable for the MOT, so we're going to put another headlight on it, put some indicators on it, and possibly put a new clock on it. I've got some bits over here, a couple of clocks, some indicators there, a couple of clocks, a couple of lights, one of them little cheap dials. It's got the indicator neutral and high beam lights in. Some little indicators I've got left over. Basically just trying to get it through for an MOT for next week. We made this seat, well, I got a buddy of mine to sew it up, but I'll take it off and I'll show you kind of what we did. Put a tray underneath there, hid everything away. I think we made a pretty good job for, you know, a first motorbike build. As I say, we did it during the lockdown, so it's a couple of years ago now, but it's never been MOT'd. I rode it last year at the Mallee Mile, and it was pretty good. Oops. Well, it does run. Right, so I'm not exactly sure what you can see in there because you're in the tripod and I'm here, but I've disconnected the headlight. These wires here are for the indicator. These are for the light on the speedo. I had this brown wire that I obviously never connected to anything, so that was just flopping around in there. And as you can see, I did these display lights for my daughter so she could see if it was in gear or whatever. They were a bit big. I think I used like 8mm bulbs. They were crazy bright. But anyway, we wired them in so you can see how they all run in here. And look, I even soldered and shrink wrapped them. So what I'm going to do is remove all these lights, and then I've decided to go for the I'm going to put the little gauge in. There we go. And I've got to figure out which one of these wires corresponds to those wires in there. So that's going to be fun. So I'm just going to get a battery, run 12 volts through, see what lights up. Here's some fun I've been having. Got me, let's move that up here. Got me a cheap Chinese clock. Got me indicators on. So I decided to use this cheese block. Don't worry, it's not staying. I laid all the wires out and matched them up to what they should be coming from the bike. Now there's 2 yellow wires. Each one should go to an indicator, but this one doesn't work. Yay, that's loads of fun. And so I thought, well, I'll just put a bridge between these two. I'll show you what happens. Grab a bit of wire. So if I put the indicator on, let's come up a bit so you can see that indicator's flashing, and obviously I want to put a jumper between so it flashes on both. But when I do that, because let's try and show you here. It's a really bad position. You can see there, maybe. Oh, fart. So you can see there that even though the indicator's flashing, I've got no indicate light on the dash, which I need. So I thought, well, I'll jumper those two across, so I'll jumper them now. And it starts flashing, lovely. But both indicators are flashing. You can't have both lights that work on the display independently. So I'm going to show you now what I come up with. To my very limited knowledge of electrics, let's see, can you focus on that? Focus, focus, focus. So, there you go. You can see I've put two resistors in there. To my understanding, what happens is when you take out normal light bulbs and put in LEDs, there's not enough resistance from the light bulbs, so it comes through and feeds back. So when you do one indicator, it will power the other, something like that. Anyway, so what I've done is I've put two in there, going off to the one lead, and if I turn the ignition on, I've got indicator, and switching between the two, left, that's right. You can see that stays flashing. Hurrah! So everything else is working, so let's show you this. So that's main beam, high beam, the clock is lit up itself, indicators are working, and the top light shows you it's in neutral. So now to get that kind of hardwired in, obviously we're using these little indicators on the front. Let's tidy up the wiring and get everything put back together, and then move on to other stuff. All the lights are fitted now. Indicators, as a bit of luck, they were the same thread going in to the headlight bulb, so they're holding that in place. The resistors are soldered in to here, heat shrinked over, and all the wiring is kind of as tidy as it can be in a headlight bulb, I suppose. Everything works, everything's together. It's one more job off the list. Back from the MOT. Wasn't as bad as I thought, to tell you the truth. I did fail, I'm going to be honest, I did fail. I'll show you what I failed on. Pretty minor stuff. No reflector on the back of the bike. That's one. That split pin there wasn't there. I've just put that on. That's two. I had fitted the master link on the chain the wrong way round. That's three. I'm going to put that down to novice mistake, you know. That's been on there since I first did the bike. And number four, head bearings. They said they were a bit knocky. So I've now got to replace the head bearings. couple of days later. New set of bearings in the post. Top and bottom. Let's cut them open, have a look. Do we have to cut them open? I don't know. Oh, a sticker. Stickers always good. If anyone wants to send any stickers, always appreciated. Here we go. Bearings, washers, bearings, seals. It's the whole kit. Let's get it up on the rack. Headstock bearings, those are fun, aren't they? I managed to get that one on now. With a lot of work. That was hard work. What I ended up doing was getting the old bearing, where is it? On top of there like that. And I put that bit of wood on there and I hammered it. And then after a while, I turned it upside down, put that in the vise like that and beat on that as well. And it's on, seals on. I hope the other one ain't as hard as that. The other one weren't as hard to get off as that, so yeah, fun. Let's get rid of that so I don't accidentally put that back on. Let's try and get this back together. It's taken me nearly a whole day to do this. I thought this was going to be like an hour job. And now, just when everything is going back together, and I think I'm winning, fuck. I was that close to taking it for a ride.